Hey everyone, I guess I'm gonna be doing the Should You Summon on the CRUSCH Camp banner. TLDR, nope. Um, if anything, summon until you get one copy of this counter CRUSCH here. Um, I think this is wrongly named. Either way, yeah. So if you're gonna be summoning, probably just go for one copy of this counter CRUSCH, if anything, because she is needed for a mission, I believe, for the new Labyrinth of Mind, I believe that's what it's called, the new Labyrinth event. Either way, she's great overall to have for both PvE and PvP. I think she's always worth summoning on. Just this banner is not the best because there's multiple featured, and then you have, of course, like the timing of it. You know, we're in the verge of season 2. A lot of new characters are probably coming out. A lot of fan favorite characters. Bride Amelia is coming out. That's probably pretty big with a lot of people that like collecting waifus and whatnot. So again, she's not outdated or outclassed or anything. She's still pretty meta. She's still pretty great in a lot of PvE, PvP content. But I just don't think this banner is really worth going in for. So yeah, first I guess we'll take a look at all the 3 units. I guess first we'll take a look at the memory over the 3 units. I keep repeating myself, I'm sorry. So this memory is one of the, I think this is the one that came with this counter CRUSCH. I believe it is also featured. I don't believe any of the other memories are featured. I can go ahead and bring it up on my phone really quick, but I don't believe so. So what this thing does is, if CRUSCH Camp, so you have to use a CRUSCH Camp unit to activate it. If we go here, you can actually see everything in CRUSCH Camp. So basically any of these units can activate this memory. So what this memory does is HP 15%, then attack 15, then 5, then 5. So basically 20 HP and 20 attack. Then once max awaken, when attacking, there's a 100% chance you will cover 10% of your maximum HP. So building HP on counter CRUSCH is actually pretty solid, especially if you have this max, because not only are you healing more, you're tanking more as well. And this gives attack by itself either way, so you don't have to build attack too crazy. Then generic memory stats that they give you, regardless of the abilities. So yeah, nothing crazy. Really good for CRUSCH Camp units, especially good on a counter CRUSCH. So if you do have this maxed out, I don't recommend going for it, but if you do have it maxed out, probably one of the top tier memories to run on CRUSCH yourself. Then we'll go into, I guess, oh wow, I didn't even know she loses this little piece of clothing. Man, they're really catering to the simps on this one. This is pretty solid artwork, one of my favorite in the game, in all honesty. All of these units are green, by the way. I don't think that has anything to do with the Labyrinth. This is just kind of like a coincidence because a lot of the units in the game are green at the moment. Kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. What should I call this? I guess Nighttime CRUSCH is kind of like a mini Elsa. Physically attacks with 400% power, 100% chance to grant defense enhancement. So unlike Elsa, Elsa has basically the same exact attack, just with an attack enhancement and probably different percentage. I don't know the exact percentage. But yeah, and then we have the automatic activation. When attacking, removes 1 debuff from self, just like Elsa. Recovers 20% of maximum HP of your maximum HP. Okay, so yeah. I don't know what this percentage is on Elsa, but Elsa does heal a bit too as well. I believe it's when she crits. So then physical attack, 100% power with a 100% chance to reduce action gauge. Same thing as Elsa by the enemy for 50%. I do believe Elsa also does a 50% thing. So she's like a lesser Elsa, but she's still pretty solid. I've seen this CRUSCH still hit some pretty solid numbers. Nothing crazy, but if you do have her, it is definitely not a bad grab. Then her bonus skills, of course, once you max out each of these skills when upgrading them, you get these bonus skills. First is 10% attack, then 20% crit damage, and 30% HP, pretty solid. Leader skills increase all CRUSCH Camp allies by crit rate by 35%. So that's very unique leader skill. Very specific. I think it'd be pretty cool if we ever get a CRUSCH Camp leader that had, honestly, counter CRUSCH can benefit by this, but I don't know if you want to be building an entire CRUSCH team. I know there's a huge whale that actually has a CRUSCH team for PvP, and he's constantly in the top 10, top 100. He's always posting his rank, with a full CRUSCH team. I think she'd, if you wanted to do that ideally, I think she'd be a super good leader to have. Then, or at least offensively. Defensively, I think you probably want this as a leader. But if you use 9-time CRUSCH as a leader, and then let counter CRUSCH counter a lot, her crit damage is really good. So having her crit a lot is really good. So you can do some nasty combos with this. Then we have her stats here: 15k HP, pretty solid. 1200 attack, 700 defense, agility 156, crew 850, 140 crit damage, debuff success rate 20, and then debuff resistance 35. So average stats, again, she's a little outdated. She could be buffed sometime in the future because they've buffed a lot of units recently. I'd give it maybe like 2 to 3 months at the minimum, and then there's probably a chance there to start buffing, but I think it's still a little too soon. Overall, she's a pretty cool unit. Nothing crazy. Great art. You know, if you really like CRUSCH, this is probably one of the top units you want to gun for. Then we have counter CRUSCH. Was still, again, a great unit. I actually have the banner pulled up, so let me see if there's any other featured memories. Nah, it doesn't look like it. Also, they added like a feature whenever you open up the banner for the first time that shows you like the animation of like one of the featured units, which is really cool. I think that's kind of sick. Either way, so max level, physically attacks a single enemy with 400% power with a 100% chance to inflict 2 damage over times. So damage over time is just basically whenever someone has this debuff, they just take 5% of their maximum HP per turn. So this is basically 10% of their HP every turn. So that's pretty cool for 1 turn. Then at the start of battle, increases self-defense for 3 turns, pretty solid. When attacked, increases self-attack for 1 turn, reduces self-cooldowns by 1 turn, and has a 100% chance to remove all buffs of 1 random enemy. This is really nice, but you have to get it to proc on the right enemy. And then additionally, counterattack with 300% power. Is that 300%? Let me check the Discord. Because I'm not too sure if these translations are all exactly the same. Yeah, 300% power. So a really strong counterattack. This is definitely her main thing. Then we have skill 3, physical attacks a single enemy with 1200% power, 100% chance to decrease the enemy's attack and defense, which is really good. Then inflict taunt, which is like the icing on the cake. Then 2 turns and increases self-action gauge by 200%. So basically she's getting 2 turns. You're gonna ult, and then you're probably gonna hit her with this skill 1. And then bonus skills, again, once you max out these skills, 10% defense, 20% HP, 30% attack, pretty solid bonus skills. Then leader skill, all green allies debuff resistance by 40%, so really solid for defending teams if you're running a lot of green units on PvP. Then we have HP 16k, pretty nice. Attack is 1300, pretty solid. Solid defense. Agility is a little bit on the low slide. It is what it is, nothing too crazy. Crit rate 50% standard, crit damage 120% standard, and then I think these are also standard as well, 20 and 35. Nothing out of the ordinary. Whenever I say standard, I do mean like this is literally almost on every unit, except for again the nighttime CRUSCH. She had like a little bit higher crit damage, which is really nice. It's a small number change, but it's still pretty big. Again, overall, still pretty solid meta unit. If you're going to be summoning, this is why. And I would only recommend at least getting 1 copy. I would not recommend going in on this banner any further. So, yeah, just be aware. Then we have this Felix. I love the art changes on these units. There's little things that I never realized. I love how it goes from day to night. I love the little star effects. The art, they do a really good job with the art in this game. So, we have skills. Magically attacks a single enemy with 400% power and grants self-agility for enhancements for 2 turns. It's pretty nice. I mean, I think this guy's more of a support role, so getting self-agility is kind of meh. Like, I think the idea is to increase your speed so you can constantly be constantly be healing over and over. But I don't know. I don't like speed buffs on support characters. I just think it's really useless. So, it is what it is. Then skill 2, magically attacks a single enemy with 600% power, 100% chance of reducing the agility of the enemy for 2 times, and increases the action gauge of all allies by 30%. So this is more like it debuffing the enemy and increasing the action gauge of all your allies. That's something I really do like. Then we have skill 3, restores 20% of maximum HP to all allies, grants agility enhancements for 2 turns, and reduces cooldowns by 2 turns. So this isn't explicitly stated if it's all allies or not. I assume not. So this is pretty meh again. So if it is all allies, it's pretty good. If not, then yeah. Blue Felix is probably the best Felix in the game regardless though. Then we have the bonus skills: debuff resistance 10% up, defense 20% up, HP 30% up. Pretty solid. I like it. Then we have Green Allies defense by 35% as the leader skill. Pretty solid, nothing too crazy. Defense leader skills aren't really that big of a deal in my opinion. 16k HP, pretty solid. 900 attack, it's pretty bad. 1k defense, that's pretty good. Agility's 155. I think that's a little below average, if not maybe average. Then standard, except for the debuff resistance, which is a little bit higher, so that's pretty nice. Overall, a solid support. He's nothing too crazy, but he's not bad either. I would probably like to at least have him on the team at some point, or like have him in my box at some point. Like I would not be upset if I got this unit, which I actually do have this unit. I haven't used him much because, you know, CRUSCH camp isn't exactly needed everywhere. I don't really have the time to build him. There's a lot of building resources, a lack of building resources in this game, which is kind of frustrating because, you know, I just want to play the game. I want to play with these units, but unfortunately, this game is very demanding on which teams you get to use and how much you get to use them. So it is what it is. Overall, again, he's probably not the best Felix. Blue Felix is way better. You know, debatably, Yellow Felix is pretty solid as well. They probably compete with each other, Green and Yellow Felix. So yeah, those are the units. That's the overall kind of little thing I had to talk about. Again, probably just a skip banner. Nothing too crazy. Just, you know, run-of-the-mill rerun banner. Maybe you need some of these units. Again, I wouldn't recommend picking them up because they're on every single banner. Counter CRUSCH is pretty good, but she'll probably return even on a better banner at some point. I do believe Annie, if you care, is in 4 months. So if you want to, you know, save for 4 months, you know, a lot of people that usually like to save say that's not even a lot of time. Like you probably do want to be saving if you're one of the big savers, or if you don't really care. You know, 4 months is a lot of time to you. Then maybe. It is what it is, but still, I think there are definitely other banners that are going to be out there that's probably going to have counter CRUSCH on them. It's probably going to have the rest of these units on them. Probably, maybe even step-up banners. Maybe even more better units like the 10 free multi one that we got like during Golden Week. Maybe, you know, counter CRUSCH is on that banner next time, along with some of the other best units in the game, and you kind of wasted your gems here. So yeah, overall, skip. If you want my opinion, again, you know, if Felix is your favorite character in the game, I would not blame you at all for summoning here. Games, at the end of the day, you're meant to be played for your enjoyment. So, you know, if you want to be smart, if you find enjoyment out of being a smart player, definitely skip. If you just like aping everything, I want to summon on this banner and this one and this one, go for it. You know, the more the merrier. If you, that's what floats your boat. That what makes you happy. You know. So it is what it is. Sorry for the broken English and the rambling. I'm just a little bit tired. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.